There's the new River Gorge Bridge. We're going to be down there on that catwalk in just a little bit, walking across. It's gonna be epic.
Yeah, it's all, the fog's all off now.
Alrighty, my friends, this is the new River Gorge Bridge. It is 3,030 feet in length, so our walk today is going to be a little over half a mile, about 6/10 of a mile. Now during the tour, we're going to walk 25 feet below that center median you see there. So, although the bridge is 876 feet tall, our highest point today is only going to be 851 feet, if that makes you feel any better. So a little history on the bridge. They started construction out here back in June of 1974. They completed a little over 3 years later in October of 77. On that day, it was October 22nd of 77, they did an opening ceremony where they allowed people to walk across the bridge before it was ever open to traffic. And then that kind of sparked the idea for a tradition that we now have called Bridge Day. So 3 years later, in October of 1980, they started Bridge Day, which is the one day of the year that they shut the bridge down completely to traffic and open it to pedestrians to walk across. So if you guys walk over here real quick, you guys can take turns looking. This really cool picture here in the middle. This was Bridge Day in 2004. So you can look at that to kind of gain some perspective on how busy it is. But the town of Fayetteville, across the bridge that hosts Bridge Day, has a population of roughly 3,800. In fall of 2022, they had roughly 160,000 people attend Bridge Day.
Good.
So a few quick things before we get started. So the first thing I want you guys to know, I'm not trying to scare you, I just want you to be prepared. So when you guys step out here on this steel catwalk, you might already feel it a little bit now, but you'll feel a lot of movement and vibration out here from the traffic mostly. That is completely normal, so don't let that make you nervous. It always has been like that. You guys can take pictures as often as you would like out here. I'm gonna stop pretty often to talk about some different things, but if we're ever walking and you want to stop to get a picture, feel free. And then I'll find a place out towards the middle to get pictures of your groups. If you're comfortable with me taking them on my phone and sending them to you afterwards, it's not a good idea that I hand over your phones out here. So if everybody's comfortable with that, we'll find a place to do it. So. Alright, so does anybody, when I do stop to talk about some things, do me a big favor and just squeeze up a little bit for me, that way everybody can hear, especially for those guys in the back, so just squeeze up a little bit. Alright, does anybody remember what I called these?
Fast latch, quick latch, something.
Yeah, so they're trans fasteners.
There we go.
There you go. Alright, thank you.
Now, have you ever had anybody get so nervous they started
Yeah, every once in a while, it's not for them, but most people get out here and just realize that it's peaceful and beautiful. And they love it. Go ahead and start walking. I'll stop in just a minute, but if you need to stop for any reason at all, just yell at me and let me know. Give me a big thumbs up if you're ready. All right, here we go. Road. Fayette Station Road was the original way people could cross the gorge at this point before the bridge was here. Back then it was more of a 45-minute drive because it was gravel. It was two ways, so you could come from either side of the gorge. So the saying was it took a 45-minute drive to a 45-second drive. Now it's a little nicer, so it's a one-way road. It's completely paved. It's closer to a 30-minute drive now, but it is a really great scenic drive. If you guys have not done that, how many of you guys have? Awesome. So I'll give you directions when we get back if you're interested, but it's one way. You come down this side of the gorge, you'll cross on that smaller bridge you see down there, and you'll come up the other side. Any road you guys see throughout the entire tour today is all Fayette Station Road. All right. Does everybody feel good to keep moving?
Yep.
Let it go on the shoulder, it'll drag.
Maybe that's what I need. Probably Caleb, when you bring Sarah wants to come, you can bring her. I like it, but I'm just a little, I don't mind. Yep. Wow. I think I'll go somewhere else.
It's what we call the high line.
You can get all the pictures you want. I think I'm just going to hold on.
There's white water down there.
Now that doesn't bother me. Water doesn't bother me, but I think it's not even the height. I think it's the free.
Guys, so you may have noticed we just walked under a second catwalk back there. And if you didn't notice, look back and you'll see a catwalk running horizontally back there. That is there for maintenance and inspection on one of the two expansion joints on the bridge. So right above that catwalk is an expansion joint for the road. It looks like a set of steel teeth, and it facilitates that expansion and contraction due to swelling and heat. And so that's just one of the many ways this bridge is able to move and flex very slightly, which keeps its structural integrity intact.
Right here? Okay.
You guys stay foot for just a second.
Yeah, I think it's not the height, it's the open air.
Oh, okay. Yeah. All right, you ready? 3, 2, 1. One more. 3, 2, 1. Gotcha. But you're feeling okay? It's doable?
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Good.
Yeah, I've done stuff like this before. It's just I'm not big on the open free air.
Just takes a little bit. Three, two, one. 3, 2, 1.
I like being, if I'm gonna wait, I like being over these, standing over these beams. They only have 3 more people. But then she has to pass too, I think.
Put the light in.
We've already passed about halfway, haven't we?
But you can actually get out over the
I'm thinking, hopefully.
Was a local legend in the town of Fayetteville. He was the police chief there for close to 30 years. He was actually the only police officer in Fayetteville for a good 20 of those years. Very small town. And later in his career, he was inducted into the National Law Enforcement Hall of Fame. But what's really interesting is back before he was a police officer, he was a professional boxer. And on October 29th of 1960, he fought one famous opponent. Anybody want to guess?
Muhammad Ali?
I'm hearing it all around. Muhammad Ali. He was still Cassius Clay at the time. It was Muhammad Ali's very first professional boxing bout. They went 6 rounds. Ali won by judge's decision, but they became close friends. And Muhammad Ali attended Tony Hunsaker's retirement party from law enforcement over 30 years later in the town of Fayetteville. Alright guys, so right here you are in the very center of the new River Gorge Bridge. So we are 851 feet above the water level down there.
I am just I am perfect. Yeah, okay. It is not the height, it's not anything, it is just the free air is not
Here you go.
my...
Be careful with it.
I know.
Get the picture of the feet dangling.
I got your picture of freak dangling. I got... There you go, that's enough for me. Okay. Is our 5 minutes up? Is our 5 minutes up?
That's awesome.
It's awesome for you, but
Oh, I love it.
I think it's the free air.
Yeah, I don't want to sit either.
No.
Would you mind trying to get a picture?
I can. Okay. I'm gonna be very careful.
Okay.
And I'm gonna probably take several of them so that I can.
They chose that date because that's where
Okay, so the center of the bridge is right over.
Right here, yeah.
Right over.
Spot.
I did not realize.
51 feet.
I did not realize that it was.
Like you said, you still got 3/4 of a mile to go.
And that does not bother me. I don't know what.
It's getting less of height from here on.
It's not the height.
We're taking on the sit now.
I think it's the open air that there's nothing to grab onto. Oh, when we was back there, I looked down through and there's a waterfall. Like a little, there was when we was back there, I was gonna tell you, when you passed you could see it. A little creek, it's a little tiny waterfall. What did you think?
Okay.
Would you do it again?
Oh, yeah.
I think I could do it again. I almost sat down by like, Thank you.
Yep.
I wouldn't mind coming down and doing that zip line from the bridge going down. Wouldn't that be neat to have one of these on there and you just go? I think I could do that.
Might be a little different.
That
Might be a little different.
and they don't go very fast, she said. You're going, but it's a slower one.